Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second faction in ZeroSpace, the Protectorate. If you guys missed yesterday's video, we took a look at the Legion faction, and during that video I went over a bunch of the mechanics in this game, how the mining works, and many other interesting things, so I recommend going and checking that out. I'll leave you guys a link to that one. But in this video, we're going to check out the Protectorate. So, as usual, first building you're going to build here is the supply platform. And the supply platform is a little bit different, so we're going to build two of them just so I can show this to you guys. So there we go, we've got two of them now. Let's go send our worker down here to build a barracks. But the supply platforms, you've got three different upgrades available here. Enhanced supply platform will give you an extra 10 supply. It's not very economical, but it can get you out of things in a pinch. You can see it builds very quickly, so pretty similar to the supply drop for the Terran faction in StarCraft 2. And then you have the sensor platform, which will sense flying units, or the turret platform, which is a defensive missile launcher. So if you do a little bit of SimCity building and you build these, well, not here, somewhere probably inside your natural, close to your ramp, you can then upgrade these if you see an incoming attack and defend with them. There is a little bit of a build time, but it may be worth it to hold off an attack. Now on the barracks down here, these are the biological units for the Protectorate. So we have the Commando and we have the Bastion. And for the Bastion, you need a research lab, which is the first upgrade building. So let's go ahead and build one of those, and let's build a Commando. And while those are building, let's check out the hero. There are heroes in this game. Each faction gets to pick between one of three heroes, unless you're playing the faction I covered yesterday, the Legion, in which case you can get all three of them. And we're going to go with Prefect Nova here. So you can actually build this hero pretty early on in the game. I think it's around 25 seconds in. This is going to be your first unit out on the field that you're going to use to scout and to go and capture these towers. Prefect Nova, oh, perfect timing. Here comes an enemy. They have this ability, which I believe, yeah, it does 50 damage and stuns enemies in a small area. That big explosion is whenever a hero dies, so that was the enemy hero going down there. You've also got some kind of a dash, so nice movement ability, and then you've got Construct Light Turret, which I can't show you because we're out of energy. You'll also notice that Prefect Nova here has shields, so you can tank a little bit of damage and then regenerate it. So we've got our research lab going here, and as I mentioned yesterday, you can get research for pretty much every unit in this game as far as I know, but the way it works is that you have to pick one or the other. So you pick one of these, and if you go with Marksman Rifle Range, then you can pick either Eagle Sense or Advanced Thrusters. After that, you won't be able to get shredding rounds after this upgrade is done. So the Commando here, pretty standard infantry soldier with a laser rifle, but has a jetpack, so a little bit Reaper-esque there. The second unit is a Bastion, has a double shotgun attack, whereas the Commando has just like a regular laser attack. The Bastions are way more tanky, so they've got 300 HP, whereas the Commando only have 140 HP. So this is like the backbone of your army. This is what you're going to end up starting out on the map with at the beginning of the game. Now, I've taken the liberty of building a factory for you guys, so you don't have to wait. And this is where the factions really start to differ. So, unlike the Legion that only gets 2 units, this faction actually get, I think, a total of 9 units. So on the factory here, we have 4 different units we can build. I'm going to build all of these and show you guys how they work. For the last one here, the Atlas, we also need another upgrade building. So we're going to go ahead and construct, I think it's called the Mechanical Research Lab. And this is also going to give you all of your upgrades for the units that come out of the mech bay. Okay, so here comes the first unit. This is the Avenger. So this is the first tank, the first of 3 tanks. It's a tank. It fires a cannon. However, it can get a couple of different upgrades here for the turret. So you can get an Avenger turret here, which adds a permanent turret that hits both air and ground targets. Or you can go with the Armor Aura module, which provides 20% damage reduction for nearby infantry units. So that right there is absolutely huge. You can see as you add one of these to your army, this is just going to make your army so much more tanky and durable. Wait a minute, is the enemy's actually building right outside my base? They're getting a little bit too cocky here. You got it. So we are also playing against the Protectorate here, and he had some Commandos there jump packing in. And here is our second unit. This is the Striker. You can think of this as the siege weapon, or like the siege tank, I guess, of this game. Although, unlike the siege tank, if we hit our harvester up here, it doesn't fire a large shell, it fires a barrage of missiles continuously. If we go down to the upgrade building here, you can also upgrade this one with siege mode, which increases the range by 40%, but it will make the Striker immovable whilst it's in siege mode. But still, you can get some really quite insane ranges with this thing. Now here's the next unit. This is the Gunship, and this unit has two different weapons. It has a railgun, which does damage at the end of a cycle. You can also hit F on the keyboard to switch to the Gatling gun, and that will sort of do damage at more regular intervals. One other thing I wanted to mention here is all of the production buildings here, so whether it's a barracks or a factory, they have these little drones here that will actually heal you, and it doesn't matter which one it is, they heal mechanical units and biological units just the same. So that is a really powerful sort of trait of the Protectorate here. Now here we have one of the cooler looking units in the game, in my opinion, the Atlas here. Two huge miniguns there. As you can see, it does sustained fire, sort of similar to the Striker, I guess. However, it also has a jump pack. Well, let's move out for a second here, try and find something to kill so I can show you guys the secondary ability, which is called Drone Strike. It does 200 damage over 5 seconds in a target area. So let's put it on top of this worker here. He's moved out of the target area there, but you can see how effective this would be if you had multiple Atlases. I didn't know this either, but apparently these little repair drones, they also repair the buildings. So these things repair absolutely everything. That's kind of OP, man. That sounds really, really good. Now, you will be forgiven, guys, for thinking that that was all of the units for the Protectorate, but we're not done yet. There are 3 more units here. So here we've got the advanced factory, not the mech bay. I keep calling it the mech bay. It's not called the mech bay. They're called factories, just like in StarCraft. And here we have 3 more units. So we have the Strider, the Juggernaut, and the Disruptor. So we'll go ahead and make the Strider here. For the other 2, the last 2 tier units in the game, you need the Specialized Research Lab. And these buildings kind of go one after another. So you need a barracks before you can get the Research Lab. You need a factory before you can get the Mechanical Research Lab. And then finally, you need the Advanced Factory before you can get the Specialized Research Lab. So this is the Strider. And this is sort of like a people carrier. You can load up infantry into here. Seems like it can carry 4 at a time. It does have a small weapon up top. Pretty slow firing though, as you can see. You know, this one is much more of a support unit here, and this aura around the outside will actually heal your units up. So if we damage this guy, you will notice that slowly but surely within this aura, he is healing up. And if we go down to the research building and we go to the Strider, you can get an upgrade here that gives you 50% to the aura radius. So again, something that's really going to benefit your army. Now next up, we have the Juggernaut tank, which is quite a bit larger than the Avenger tank down here. So much faster firing here, it does pretty nice damage. I think it also does additional damage against heavy units maybe. It also has a special ability here called Heat Discharge, which uses 20 energy, and it does area of effect damage around the tank. Once it's ongoing, you can't move the tank around, so you're kind of stuck there whilst that's happening, but it probably does a lot to take out those small melee units that could surround your tank. Okay, so here is the final unit here. This is the one you need the upgrade for, and this is called the Disruptor. It's essentially like a Void Ray tank. So if you've played StarCraft 2 Protoss and you're familiar with the Void Rays, yeah, you can attack and just sort of move around, kite enemies, do whatever you want here. It does have a charge up time here, so the longer the beam is on the target, the more damage it starts to do. And I believe there's also an upgrade down here if we go to the Disruptor. Yeah, you've got charge time, minus 50% beam charge time, or you can take slow, which reduces movement speed of the target by 30%, allowing you to kite all the more better. So this is one of the coolest units in the game to me. And you can tell now, once you've got this whole team of units together, you know, we've got the healing aura, here we've got the damage reduction aura. This is just super, super powerful once you get into the late game with this faction, and it's a lot different from the Legion. Oh, one more small mechanic I forgot to show you guys is the Harvesters here. Actually, the Harvesters for each faction, they have their own abilities. So the Harvesters for the Protectorate have an ability called Healing Wave, which instantly heals 150 health to nearby targets. So if you have some Harvesters sort of on the front line here, which they usually are pretty close to the center of the map, you've taken some damage, you can go in range of your Harvester, click G, and it just instantly heals all of your units for 150 HP, which I think is pretty powerful, especially if you're using Bio at the start of a round there. Okay, finally, the last thing I want to show you is the top bar here. So I'm not going to go too much into detail in the top bar because we did cover that in the last video about the Legion. But as you guys will know, over the game you do accrue experience, and each time you gain a point, you can select one of these talents. And once you get down to the bottom talents, you get to pick one of your ultimates, which are on the right hand side of the bar here. And I'm going to go with the ultimate called Weapon X just because it's so cool. We do have enough energy to summon this, so let's go ahead and do that. And here he is, Weapon X. And he's basically just a mech that goes absolutely ham on anything that stands in his way. But as you can see, he appears to be somewhat radioactive. And you probably noticed that he's losing health over time here. You can probably guess what happens if he loses all of his health. But I'm going to show you guys anyway. Poor guy's running away here. But he's not going anywhere. Yes. You get nuked. So a very interesting ultimate melee unit. And it's not done yet. You'll see here the radioactive area is just absolutely decimating everything in its wake. So if you send this guy into an enemy army, it is absolutely going to wreak havoc. Now you can only select one of those end abilities until you've worked your way down this list again. So you also get the airstrikes, which are very powerful also. Other than that, you get the beam up ability, which is also pretty cool. It allows you to, if you look in the minimap down here, you can select one of your extractors, and then you just box around whatever units you want to teleport, and boom, your units are teleported to this extractor from anywhere on the map. The more units you teleport, the more energy it will use. You've also got the ability to call in reinforcements, and you can pick a number of different reinforcements, so you can tab through these. I think these are unlocked depending on your production facilities. So you can just go and call in a tank here, call in another one. Damn, this is actually kind of crazy. You can just get a bunch of these tanks in. Wow. Look at that. So if you end up with full energy, that is also an incredibly powerful ability. You can back up your army. You do only get energy when you take damage though, so it's not really a snowball effect. It's more like if you start to take damage, you have the ability to come back. So yeah guys, that was an overlook of the Protectorate faction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will also be doing one for the Grell as well in the future. I know most of you guys probably subscribed for Stormgate content, and I have seen some comments along the lines of, you know, this is misleading, it's supposed to be about Stormgate, but, you know, I figured I'm interested in Stormgate and also in ZeroSpace, so the chances are you guys probably are as well. Anyway, let me know what you think of the content. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Leave a like down below as well. That always helps out with the algorithm. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.